Good morning. You know, I'm so torn because part of me wants to just, wait until everything's together. But then my mother calls and she's like, so I logged in and there was nobody up front. So even at church, she has an impact on me. Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm Reverend Debbie. I'm so glad you guys are all here today. We are having a very fun Sunday here. I'm just going to put it that way. We had to go out and buy coffee, but we got coffee, and that's what matters. We got coffee. We got coffee and we got love. So, Center for Spiritual Living Minneapolis, we are based on the truth that there is a power for good in the universe, and we can consciously use it. Consciously mean being aware of our thoughts and our feelings and making sure they are in line with our desires. So to support that truth, our mission of this center is to teach, to demonstrate, and inspire that positive spiritual idea and direction of living. And now it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you Victoria and Carl.
Hello. Hello. That's still a little hot. Okay. Good morning, everybody. In case you weren't awake already, I bet you are now. Coffee. We good? All right. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. When I start my day with peace, I start my day with peace. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, 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 peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Kevin's got it. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release. love, 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 love.
That was lovely. Thank you. And now I'm going to invite all of us to get quiet, get still. Let's just take a couple of those wonderful breaths together because, that breath of life, that breath of spirit, that breath of oneness. It brings us to that place of inner calm and inner joy. Because what I know is true is that there is only one, and each of us is that unique expression of it. And we gather here to celebrate it, to support one another in it, just to feel it. And so, I just acknowledge it, I give thanks for it, letting it go, knowing that as I release it, it comes back pressed down. And so it is. All right, now we've got a group reading. So please join me in the following. I am ready to deepen my conviction in the power and the presence of good. I am ready to apply it in my daily life. I am ready to receive God's highest blessings. I am ready to live from a higher level of beingness. I am ready to be a transformative light in the world. And so it is, right? Yep. Now I'm going to ask Joan, would you come up and light candles for us? On Sundays, we want to acknowledge that there is one, but there are multiple paths and rituals and traditions to the one. So we're going to honor some of the more traditional faiths as we light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And now I invite each of us just to recognize that light, that spark, that joy within that is ever shining so brightly. Thank you all for that. And now it is time for a group reading, but we're going to sort of mix it up a little bit. I'm going to invite Celeste to come up, and she's going to do a little reading of her own. Come on up.
On the fly action, because the actual reading today is in Joanne's purse somewhere on a highway. But actually this was Reverend Debbie's idea, so no, you got to give her props to choose me and my voice to do this. So I'd like you to settle into that space, and I'm going to anchor us further into today's message with a little bit of a meditation, right out of the Science of Mind book, page 556. So, relax. Close your eyes if you'd like. And listen carefully. And the words that I speak are not my own. They are ours. They were that voice that is already within us. And it comes from that divine idea, that one power, that one presence that is everywhere present. It moves and has its being through each of us. And today in particular, I want to rest us in the knowing that the gifts of God are mine today. It is the Father's good pleasure to give me the kingdom of heaven, or harmony and abundance. Today he opens to me the blessings of his infinite and eternal treasure, inviting me to dip deeply into it. As I believe in my heart, so it is done unto me in all things. As I ask, so do I receive, a full measure unto my faith, pressed down and running over. These and other divine promises and assurances sing in me. The still small voice reminds me that all that the Father hath is mine. This day I listen deeply to that still small voice and believe its promises. I fear nothing, neither lack, limitation, disappointment, nor distress of any kind. For is it not the Father always with me? What caused the appearance of lack in my life? Simply my fear, or my belief that the Father could forsake me. I do not believe that now, and it no longer matters to me what is the appearance of today, or what has gone before. Today is new, and I am newly awakened in it. And I believe with a dauntless faith that my good in full measure comes to me from God today. I now believe that it is indeed the Father's good pleasure to give me his bounty. I know that he gives as I ask without question or limit. And I am ready to receive. The gifts of God are mine today. I am so thankful to know this truth, so thankful for the opportunity to share it with you and sing its praises. I know all is done and done well in the divine mind. Therefore, all we need to do is be. So I shall let this meditation be and say, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever dreamed, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever seen has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the sweetest kind of love, to the deepest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Done twice. Seriously, I think we'll do it twice. Nothing? Okay. So,
Like today?
yeah, today. So, here, you know, sometimes the world just encourages you to do things a little differently, right? Okay. And this is the season of construction here in Minnesota. And the state doesn't do the greatest job of detour signs, right? And Google doesn't do the greatest job of keeping up with those non-existent signs. And so while Joanne is winding her way through all of downtown Minneapolis, downtown Minneapolis to get here, and I understand she's close. She's in the parking lot? Awesome. All right. Anyway, so while we're waiting for her, I'm gonna do a spoiler alert. She's going to be talking about prayer. So I want to take a few minutes and share with you this idea of Ernest Holmes, and I want to thank Celeste for that wonderful reading. She really embodied Holmes in the way she spoke it and the way she focused on it. And you just need to listen to online to really get it. So yay, bravo. But the form of prayer that Ernest Holmes created is called a spiritual mind treatment. And in this teaching, we've sort of gone away from that. We start talking about affirmative prayer, and it is affirmative prayer. But I want to just take a couple of minutes and explain what spiritual mind treatment is, because it's a 5-step process that you can do on the fly, right? And it's so powerful. And as you start to incorporate it into your life, see, changes happen. So the first statement, right, is there is, God is, Spirit is, universe is, whatever that noun is for you, is. And I am one with it. And why am I one with it? Because everything is it. That very thing itself is all there is. So if that's all there is, then I am of it, I am with it, I am always expressing it. right? And it loves all of its creation and wants all of its creation to have exactly what it wants to express. So from that place of knowing that, in a prayer, it is, I am, and this is my truth. I am abundant. I am joyful. I am loving. I am peace-filled. I am a power of good. I am a voice that is heard. Right? Pick a God quality. That right there is that truth that I am declaring. And from that place of declaring it, what does it do? It says, yes, my beloved, and it gets to work. It just gets to work. And while it's out working, I get to do me, which is why I can then say, I know it's done. I give thanks because I know it's done. Because there's nothing else for me to do but to get on with my life. So I'm just going to give thanks. I'm going to give it over to the one to do all of that heavy lifting, right? I say thank you, and so it is. How simple is that, right? And it is a game changer because we are not begging or beseeching. We're just stating our truth. But the key is to let it go, right? That's the key, is you got to let it go. And what we as humans do is we kind of muck in it. So, look who's arrived, Jay. So, I just wanted to give you a primer on spiritual mind treatment since prayer is the topic of the day. And would you like to catch your breath for a moment? Yes. We have a beautiful song that we all want to hear again, don't we? Yeah.
Oh, all right. It's like I just sing it a cappella here.
Or you can sing whatever you want.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Wow. What would you like me to do? Should we wait a minute?
Whatever you want to do. I've already been on the spot today.
She's singing a second song.
All right. All right. Well, why don't we do this?
Why don't we do the call and response about your first song?
Oh.
That one's good.
All right. We'll do some of that. All right. So here's a little bit of I start my day. And, something that I just wanted to say, this song was actually written by Karen Drucker, and it was based on a Rumi poem that, yeah, and, well, a Rumi poem quote. I mean, he has this unique way of writing, but it's actually here on the lyric sheet. And I always love reading this before I sing this for you guys at service, but it is on a day when the wind is perfect. The sail just needs to open and the world is full of beauty. Today is such a day. Isn't that pretty?
Yes.
So, yeah, if you guys want to, please join me in this song. I know it's a regular song that we do here. So, I will start. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. I start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, 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 love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Yeah. I start my day with peace. I start my day with peace. Do a little key change, sweet release of peace. Peace, peace. peace. Yeah, peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Man, it's like you guys heard this before. Hey!
Okay. Improv is over.
I was coming back from the bathroom going,
Reverend Joanne, come on up.
Well, thank you for staying. Needless to say, I took a wrong turn. I couldn't get on the freeway by my house, and it screwed me up pretty good. So anyway, here I am. I'm happy to see you all. I always think, when stuff, well, of course, all the way over, I'm thinking I'm dreaming anyway. I think I'll wake up any minute, so I'm not too worried about it. It's very typical of my dreams, driving around, taking a wrong turn. When where I am, I'm late. Okay. So, this month we're talking about spiritual delights that sizzle. And what a nice way to think about it. That's the way the leader of the Unity Church has talked about sizzling. He fairly sizzled with enthusiasm, and that was when he was 95. So let's us think about sizzling this month. Last week, Reverend Debbie said, burst forth like fireworks from the spark of a divine idea. And I think this whole idea is just waking up to the good that you are, the waking up to the good that is within us, and we can all do that. So today, are we going to do that? Okay. Oh, all right. So today we're going to talk about going nuts, and that is an acronym for never underestimate the Spirit. What does that mean?
It's an Amber Alert.
Okay.
The Joint Water Commission has issued. The Joint. Oh my gosh. Okay. It says the Joint Water Commission has issued a boil water advisory for all water users in Crystal Golden Valley and New Hope, effective immediately until further notice. Boil water before consumption until further notice. Boiled or bottled water should be used for making ice, drinking, and brushing teeth. Check your city website for updates. I mean, we know this already, but which is why we had no coffee, which is why now we have this great caribou coffee. So that's the silver lining. We have some nice caribou coffee here this morning. What? Jeff went and got the coffee. Hey.
So we are going next.
Do you think that ever is going to stop? Okay. So what does it mean to go nuts? Well, let's take a look. Never underestimate the Spirit. And what it means is that every day we can build greater trust in Spirit. Every day we can do that. And how do we do that? By prayer. The more we pray, the more we get prayers answered, the more we trust. It means to deepen our understanding of our relationship to our higher power. Get in touch with that power within. It means to see beyond the physical condition and see the spiritual truth. Going nuts means to know that there's a perfect solution in the mind of Spirit for any perceived dilemma in life. And it means to remember that in every challenge, in every conflict, there is a blessing. Coffee, whatever. So you wander around 20 minutes getting to church. There's a blessing. And Emma Curtis Hopkins used to say, and I demand to see what that blessing is. And it means to surrender the struggle and let Spirit move through you. Like Reverend Debbie likes to say, let God do the heavy lifting. We can do that. Turn it over. And what I like to think about, and we're going to talk about this morning, is staying prayed up. They say, I've seen the term used, pre-prayed, but I cannot possibly say that too many times because it doesn't come out. So when I say being prayed up, it means you pray before something happens. It means you take everything in prayer in the morning, just blessing everything that might come your way. And then in particular, if you know a situation you're going to be in that is going to be challenging for you, specifically pray about that. I think about when I know I'm going to see this particular woman who pushes my buttons. And when I know I'm going to see her, I certainly get prayed up. And what does that mean? It means blessing her, accepting her, letting Spirit know I'm willing to accept her, and to recognize all the good within her that I know is there. And it makes all the difference in the world. If she's at an event and I'm not prayed up, I got to go off into a little corner somewhere and get there, or she will control my day. I don't want that. I want to be in control of me, and we can always do that. You know, we talk about oneness with God. That's one of our big principles, remembering we are one with our higher power. We talk about it, we teach about it, and the trick is, of course, to put it to work every day in our life instead of thinking, God, where are you? Can you make this happen? Whatever. No, just remember we are one with that higher power. We don't have to get down on our knees and grovel or any of that. That power is within us. And I kind of have to laugh sometimes about how we use prayer. You ever watch a kind of a big deal athletic event? Let's say you're watching a World Series game and the Twins are on this side of the arena and the other team is on the other side. And here's a guy up to bat. And of course on this side, and you see this on TV, these people doing this. You know, they want this guy at the plate to hit a home run. Then you guys on the other side of the arena are, strike him out, please. Yeah, and I'm thinking, and God is sitting there, what do I do? It's just like, what we're talking about when we're talking about prayer is we're talking about kind of activating that connection we have with that power within us. Just like if you turn on a light switch and an electric current goes through. That's what happens with us when we pray. We can turn on that current within. It has nothing to do with groveling or begging. It simply has to do with recognizing that we have that power within. And we can do it proactively. Anytime we know there's something coming up, we can get prayed up. There's a story about a sea captain. He's got a bunch of people on this ship, and he's taking them across a body of water. And suddenly this storm comes up, and this storm is just whipping the boat, the ship back and forth, and it's just, the waves are really high and the wind is blowing, and everybody's getting very worried. And this lady goes up to the captain and she said, "Captain," she said, "are we in serious trouble?" He looks at her and he says, "You know, ma'am, I have to tell you the truth. Now would be a good time for us all to think of God and pray." She looks him straight in the eye and she says, "Oh no, has it come to that?" You know, don't we do that? Don't we do that? Use God, prayer as the last resort? It's just a traditional idea. We wait till the last minute. And I don't like when I hear people say, all we could do was pray. Because you know what they've done. They've left it as the last resort. All we could do was pray. Let's start with prayer. I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, and she was saying that. She says, you know, my tendency when there's a challenge is to just jump all over it. I can do this, and I can do this. I can call this person, and I can activate this, and do this, and do that. And then she said, about 8th on the list is, oh yeah, pray. She says, I'm realizing now I got to take that number 8, make it number 1. That's how we make our lives better. That's how we enhance our lives. And again, we're not talking about begging or beseeching, because we know that that power has been given to us. That power is within, and we know we don't have to call out to some God on a cloud someplace. That power is within, and we can just speak our truth and how important it is to do it. We have the opportunity to do it every day, all the time, anytime. Abraham Lincoln tells a story. He said, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree with an axe, he said, I would spend 6 hours sharpening that axe, making the job easy for him. He said, most people, when they have a big job to do, they just charge right into it and hack away at that problem without honing their axe, without going to make the preparations for it. And for us, honing our faith is that idea of spending some time in prayer and meditation every day. That's how we get sharp. That's how we make our lives easier. So the idea is to be prepaid. When we do that, when we're prayed, we have more focus. When we're prayed up, our stress decreases. We function better as people. And so again, we always have an opportunity. Martin Luther said, he says, I have so much to do today, I'll need to spend another hour on my knees. And that's exactly what he was saying. When we have a lot on our plate, so important to spend some time in prayer and meditation. Eric Butterworth, he likes to talk about our prayer coming to us, spirit coming to us as a radio frequency. Our higher powers, and Michael Beckwith said this when he was talking to us about visioning. He said, the universe is always broadcasting, and we're the receptor. And how important it is to spend time in prayer and meditation, so we're willing to be open to that. Eric Butterworth says we have to be in tune with the infinite. We have to tune ourselves to be receptive and hear, and we can do it. And when we do it, we're empowered with an experience of our own connectedness with God, that power within. Holmes wrote, there's nothing in the universe that limits you or that would or could desire to limit you. There's nothing in the universe that withholds from you, because in so doing it would withhold from itself. You are some part of this purpose. The Spirit seeks, urges, pushes against you to fulfill itself. We are vehicles for that power that is our Creator to experience life in, through, and as each of us. So we always have to, the horn of plenty gives us the good, right? But we have to be the receptacle. We have to be open to receive it. As we give thanks before the appearance, just like Jesus did, seems like he always thanked before something happened, we can then be more open to increasing our acceptance. There's a French surgeon and biologist named Dr. Alexis Carrel who said, prayer is not only worship, it is an emanation of a human's spirit, the most powerful form of energy that can be generated. The influence of prayer on the human mind and body is as demonstrable as that of secreting glands. As a physician, I have seen men and women, after all other therapy has failed, lifted out of disease and melancholy by the supreme effort of prayer. I think we've all either experienced it or seen it happen to somebody we know or heard about that. Prayer is the source of luminous and self-generating energy. So then there's those times where we pray, we do that stuff, we do our meditation, we pray, we declare things that we would desire in our life, and it doesn't seem to be there. Where is it? And I think of Garth Brooks' song, Thank God for Unanswered Prayer. I don't know if any of you remember it, but the song is about Garth Brooks, when he's younger, has this girlfriend. What you doing? Why is that? Oh, Garth Brooks said when he was younger, he had this girlfriend who he was just like, he loved her so much, he wanted her so much, and he was praying, give me this woman in my life, I'll be happy forever. And didn't work out. And so years later, here he is with his loving wife, and they run into this ex-girlfriend at a football game, and he really realizes what a blessing that was, that God didn't answer that prayer. Thank God for unanswered prayers. He found a really wonderful woman that he was very happy with. So we don't want to judge by appearances. When things, we don't get them right away, despite appearances, I know there is something moving in the unseen for my greater good. And that is the truth. We can count on that, even though things don't look like we think they should look. We can believe and know there is something moving. It was kind of like on my way here today. I comforted myself saying, I don't know why this is happening. I mean, I figured I was dreaming, but beside that, I just thought, whatever it is, whatever reason this is for me to be bopping around the Twin Cities getting lost, so it is. And I will take the blessing and know that everything is always in divine order. And again, we can do this any time. Doesn't have to be first thing in the morning. It could be when you're lost on Lake Street. And I mean, I was weaving through these homeless people and picking up trash. I mean, it was a little dicey. That's when I was talking to you. So it's always with us. But sometimes we just overlook it. We simply overlook the fact that that power is with us. There's a story of a teenage boy that got a really pretty high quality watch when he was younger. And he really enjoyed that watch, and he thought he took pretty good care of it. And one day it wasn't working, so he thought he better take it to the jeweler because it was kind of valuable. Takes it to the jeweler, and the jeweler fixes it. And he says, but you have to take better care of this watch. And the guy says, well, what do you mean? What do I need to do differently? He says, what you want to do is you want to wind it first thing in the morning. If you do that, it'll help the watch deal with the stresses of the day. And how appropriate that is for all of us. If we stay prayed up and do that in the morning, we will have a better day. We will, when things happen, those stresses won't knock us off our game. So it's not just about that watch, it's about all of us, and knowing that we need that inner winding as well. In Sanskrit, that's the language of Hinduism, the word for prayer is pela. Pela. It's spelled P-A-L-A-L, and it means judging oneself as wondrously made. Isn't that nice? And when we know and remember we're wondrously made, we remember we have that power within us, and that our prayers are not some wish and a hope and a pleading to somebody sitting on a cloud somewhere. Our prayers are from inside. We have that power within, the perfect power within. I was going to have Colleen do a reading this morning from the book that we use in prison, The Perfect Power Within. And she had some problems at home and couldn't make it today. But that is exactly the kind of thing we have to remember, that there is a perfect power within you. That's what we tell the prisoners. There's a perfect power within you. We can all use it. We can all be buoyed up by it. It can enhance our lives anytime. No special place we have to be for this to happen. So this week, here's an experiment you could do. Take this week and take 10 minutes in the morning and just pray, and pray for good, and more good. Put aside any of the worries you have. Don't be dipping into that. Just put that aside and just speak your word for good, and more good in your life. Take your sights off what isn't working and just speak your word for those things that you desire that are all good. So, just to review, in this going nuts idea, never underestimate the Spirit, and that is the truth. And we can do it anytime and anywhere. We can, day by day, build a bigger trust in Spirit, deepen your understanding of your relationship with the divine, see beyond the physical, see with your spiritual eyes, and know that God always makes a way where there appears to be none. There's a perfect solution in the mind of God for any perceived dilemma. Recognize that in every challenge there's a blessing, and like Emma Curtis Hopkins says, just demand to know what it is, and finally surrender that struggle to Spirit and let God do that heavy lifting. So I would invite you to take a deep breath and just relax in your chair right now as I do a spiritual mind treatment, which I don't know if you talked about this. We're tending more to call it affirmative prayer, all the same. And I will say it in first person as though I'm saying it for myself, but it is also for you. I know there is but one power in the universe, and that power is all good. It is peace, it is love, it is joy, it is balance, it is order. It is the perfect solution to any perceived dilemma in life, and I know I am one with that very power that created everything. And I know that power experienced life in, through, and as its creation, in, through, and as me. And even though I know my oneness with the higher power, and I know that perfect power is within me, I know that I can access it at any time. There are times when I forget about that, when I don't do that. When I go into battle with that dull axe that Abraham Lincoln was talking about, charge right in without my prayers. And sometimes rather than turning into prayer or tuning into prayer, that option drops off to number 8. I speak my word right now. I set my intention that I move that option to number one. That's where I go when I want to handle any kind of dilemma in my life. And I now remember that the universe is always broadcasting, and I am the receiver. I simply need to be open. And I remember, like that jeweler said about the watch, to take the time every morning to take care of myself within through prayer and meditation. So I now set this attention to go nuts, never underestimate the Spirit, and in gratitude that this is the way that life works. It is done unto me as I believe. I release these words to the law for perfect manifestation, and so it is.
So it is.
Check, check. All right. One of those days. Maybe we can turn this down a tiny bit. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Didn't want to be yelling at you guys. All right. Yeah. Something great is happening, love has taken hold and it won't let go of us now, yeah. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion, we're drops in one ocean, hold on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Whoa. Every day's a chance you could do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine, yeah. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Be the ones who can play it calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a chance that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now.
That was wonderful. Everybody feeling fed up? It was just filled with spirit? Filled with spirit, I meant. Not fed up. Prayed up? I don't know. It's been a day. And the good news is that all of us speak our truth here, so we can just pull it off, which is kind of cool. All right. Now is the time for us to share our financial gifts with this center. And when we give of our time and our talent and our treasure, right, we are honoring not only this community, we are honoring ourselves and that part of us that knows who and whose we are. We're honoring that knowing that our source is the very thing itself. And from that place, let us take our contribution, take it in hand, take it in mind, because I know there's lots of ways that people are giving these days. But let us just know the truth that this gift is given from that place of abundance, given from that place of knowing the source of all good, knowing that the more we give of that time and that talent and that treasure, the more that has the opportunity to come back to us, pressed down and multiplied, running over. So it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Okay, just a few announcements before we get prayed out. Announcement number one. There is a wonderful fictional book called The Alchemist. We're going to use that as our summer read book. And the third Sunday in August, we are going to gather after service and talk about it. What got us excited? What questions did it bring up? Those kinds of things. So that'll be the third Sunday in August after service. Location yet to be determined because we're going to see what the weather looks like and a few other things. But it'll happen. Third Sunday, The Alchemist. And there'll be information on it on our website. That's the first thing. The second thing is we are going to do a class middle of September based on this book, This Thing Called You. And it's a basic science of mind class. It'll be done via Zoom, and more information to come on that. But, September is the time to get back into the swing of things, and so I think it's a good time for us to get a little primer on this teaching. And Wednesdays, I just got to figure out where we start. And then the third thing is in September, we are also going to start an unscheduled income program. So get ready to receive more and more and more. That's how that works. And with that, I'm going to pray us out. Reverend Joanne's going to bless us out, and then we're going to sing a little bit, right?
Yeah. Oh, can I say something?
Please.
Oh, okay. So, as many of you know, Carl and I are a jazz duo when we're not playing here together. We're called Clover Club. In case you're looking for something to do this coming Friday, we're going to be playing at Troubadour Wine Bar that is in Uptown starting at 8 p.m. There is no cover, but it's just a really nice kind of Parisian European vibe in there. And we do a lot of old jazz standards, like from the 1920s through the 1940s and a couple other stuff. So if you're looking for something cool to do, it's going to be a blast. So feel free to come on out.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
We're going to have a computer up in the corner there for requesting spiritual mind treatment or for signing up for newsletter.
Okay. There you go. Speaking of spiritual mind treatment, if there is something you are working on, our gift to you is the gift of that prayer. So you can fill out a request. You can go online and fill one out. You can talk to one of us after the service. Today, available for prayer is Jeff, Celeste, Dee Dee, myself, and Joanne. Although we need to let Joanne get a cup of coffee first. Okay, and with that, let's pray out, shall we? Let us just take another one of those wonderful breaths. Oh, I love being in this community, and we breathe together, knowing our truth, knowing our power, knowing our oneness. Spirit is, I am, and all of those qualities of Spirit, the love and the joy and the peace, the wisdom, the understanding, the awareness. It is all ours. And for that, I give thanks, turning over what is not mine to do to Spirit, and to knowing that there is good, good, and more good right here, right now, and so it is.
I'll leave you with this blessing. May you be at peace. May you know the beauty of your own true nature. May your heart be open. May you be healed. May you be blessed. Namaste.
Blue skies smiling at me, and nothing but blue skies do I see. Blue birds singing a song, nothing but blue birds from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the day hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue days from now on. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Oh, blue birds singing a song, nothing but blue birds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the day hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them are gone, nothing but blue skies from now on, and nothing but blue skies from now on.
All right. Coffee, coffee cake, prayer, fellowship.